Welcome to this presentation on Toulmin's schema. Part of the challenge of developing convincing persuasive arguments comes from overcoming potential objections to your position. One method for planning essays that considers potential objections was developed by Stephen Toulmin. Toulmin viewed argumentation as a courtroom drama, where attorneys argued and cross-examined before a judge and jury. Toulmin developed a variety of terms to provide a way to discuss and plan argumentation. Toulmin broke arguments into specific parts for purposes of planning and clarity. Using Toulmin's model, each argument can be strengthened by strengthening one of the parts. If you look closely at each part of an argument using Toulmin's model, you will create stronger arguments. So, using Toulmin's model, each argument is constructed of the following parts: claim with reason, grounds, warrant, backing, and conditions of rebuttal. A claim is the point that you are arguing. It is the main point that you are trying to convince your reader of. Think of a lawyer. He or she has a main point to argue in each case. Some examples of claims might be: narcotics should be legalized. Obesity should be classified as a disability. Women and men should receive equal pay. In persuasive arguments, your thesis should contain your claim. Once you've developed your claim, it is important to provide support for that claim. You can base your support on logical reasoning or appeals to emotion, values, and beliefs. So if you were developing an argument based on the claim narcotics should be legalized, you might use one of the following reasons for support. Statistics show that the majority of people in prison are drug users. Legalizing narcotics will decrease prison populations. Sending people to prison for drug abuse tears families apart. These claims with reason might be written in the following manner: narcotics should be legalized because decriminalization will cut down on prison overcrowding. Narcotics should be legalized because decriminalization will keep families together. Once you've developed a claim with reason, you need to make sure that you can support it, and that it is logical. Grounds are evidence in the form of facts, data, or any other information that supports the claim. Grounds answer the question, how do you know? For your first claim with reason, you might include information about the overcrowding of prisons, as well as provide information that shows how a decrease in drug arrests will decrease prison population. This would be based on a reason. For your second claim with reason, you might include a short narrative of a family torn apart by a drug arrest. This would represent an appeal to a belief. The warrant is the unstated assumption that happens every time you link a claim with reason. The warrant may need to be articulated and examined. Why? Well, the warrant should be a value, belief, or principle the audience agrees with. If the members of the audience don't, the argument won't stand up. So for our first claim, the unstated assumption might be, it is good to decrease the population of prisons. For our second claim, the unstated assumption might be, it is bad to break up families. Backing is the evidence that is used to support the warrant. Backing answers the question, why do you believe that? To develop backing for our previous examples, a writer would want to clarify why it is good to decrease prison populations, or why it is good to keep families together. A rebuttal acknowledges the limitations of the claim. For example, under some circumstances, the claim may not be true, or the claim with reason may not be strong enough. For example, does the benefit of keeping families together outweigh the negatives of widespread addiction? One who is opposed to the writer's claim may find ways to attack the reasons, ground, warrant, or the backing. Note that you must rebut the rebuttal within your argument. We're going to link to this website from Boise State University to look at a sample argument based on Toulmin's schema. This comes from the website WordWorks, Learning Through Writing at Boise State University. Let's say Professor Oliver Twist of Gruel University wants to persuade colleagues in his department that contract grading, a system in which students contract to do a certain amount of work for a certain grade, provided that the work is of satisfactory quality, is a good way to evaluate student work. The claim might be contract grading is a fair, effective way to assign grades in a course. A reason might be that contract grading gives students a greater sense of control over what they learn and what grades they get. The grounds might be, I have personally observed that students seem to have a greater sense of mastery. I could cite the example of Kathy, who started the semester feeling extremely unqualified for the class and ended deciding to switch her major to this department. I could cite the student evaluations in which 80% stated they preferred the contract grading over conventional grading. The warrant might be that it is a good thing for students to have a greater sense of control over their grades. The backing might be that students benefit from having a part in evaluating their own work. They will learn to be more self-evaluative. A condition for a rebuttal might be that, except for students with low motivation or low self-esteem, they might go for a C and not try to do any better. The grade becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. To accommodate his case, Oliver might amend his claim, as the website mentions, by writing most students, or gives most students, or can give students. By qualifying one's writing, one can amend the claim. Hopefully you have a better understanding of Toulmin's schema, one method of constructing arguments.